class. Today we're going to be making rice on the stove the old-fashioned way. So you're going to need rice, water, I'm going to use chicken bouillon, but you could use whatever sort of bouillon you want, or just salt, and a tablespoon of butter. Oh, and you'll need a pan, a saucepan that has a lid, because that's going to keep the pressure in and the steam that's going to cook the rice itself. So, rice is always a 1-to-2 ratio, so for every 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. So I have my cup measurer. I get 1 cup of rice. And it's filled all the way to the top without spilling over. And I already poured this before, this is my 2 cups of water. And I can tell because the 2 cup line is right here and my water is on that line. So you're gonna turn your pot to medium heat and pour the water in. And then bring that to a boil. So I'm gonna put the lid on it while it's getting hot. In the meantime, I'm gonna unwrap 2 chicken bouillon cubes. Bouillon is basically just a condensed block of spices and salt. And it makes the rice taste really good. Otherwise, it's kind of bland to me. So 2 should do it for a cup of rice, and it's gonna puff up to 2 cups, so you actually get a lot out of it. And it's gluten-free, so rice is excellent. You could make stir fry with it, it could be in bed under casseroles. It's a good staple to have in the house all the time. Okay, so while the water is getting hot, I'm gonna flavor the water with the bouillon cubes. Just put those right in there. And a tablespoon of butter. Alright, so when that comes to a boil, then we'll add the rice. Alright, it's been a few minutes. My rice has come to a boil. A boil, you can tell, is when all the water bubbles are kind of bubbling up to the surface and popping. So I'm going to add my rice. Oh, there's a lot of steam. I'm going to add my rice now, and then, this is important, I'm going to leave it alone. You're not going to stir it, you're not going to take the lid off the pot. Leave it alone for about 15 minutes. That way all the water can get absorbed into the rice. It needs that pressure of the lid to stay on for all the steam and the water to get absorbed into the rice and make it fluffy rather than hard. Okay? So we'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay, so my 15-minute timer is going off, but I can tell that my rice is not finished cooking. I'll show you. So it's still boiling off the water pretty well. So I'm going to keep it going for another 5 minutes and then check on it again. Okay, so I actually did it for another 3 minutes and it looks like it's done, and I'll show you how I can tell that. Woo! So you can kind of see all those holes in the rice. And that's just something that naturally happens when your rice is finished. So then the next stop now would be to turn off the oven. I'm going to move my pot off the eye so that the rice doesn't burn on the eye. And then I'm going to fluff it with a fork. So you see all those holes I was talking about? They're kind of evenly spaced. That means all the water is absorbed nicely. And then we can just come in with a fork, mix it all together, and get the bouillon and the butter incorporated in here. And then you have rice that isn't too hard and isn't too soft and mushy. It's just right. I should mention that while I was cooking it, I had the handle of the pot away from the edge of the stove because you don't want to accidentally bump into it and knock boiling hot water and rice onto the floor and hurt yourself or someone else. So if you try making rice, let me know. I'd love to see how it comes out. Bye!